Hey, what's up, y'all? It's D, about to react to this Omeezy vid. So someone sent me this, and they said that even the Hodge twins don't mess with Chud. And I was like, what? The Hodge twins? They aren't on board? I would think they would be on board with this and be like, hey, it's free speech. What's the problem? But even they are not feeling Chud. It's over for Chud. Even the racist people are not really, in support of him like that, and even the self-hating black people are not feeling it either. But anyway, let's see what's on here. Let's watch.
This Chud the Builder situation is only getting worse because every time he looks for any sort of support, any sort of helping hand, even from people who he would expect to be supporting him, they are not there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back from my hiatus of talking about Chud the Builder on this platform because last time we talked about him on this channel, I was celebrating so much that I had lost my voice. But this is the victory. And it's only gonna get better. But I'm here to tell you that all the love and admiration that Chud the Builder claimed that he was getting from his community and other communities by doing the good work that he was doing in the streets and in the community is actually backfiring on him in real time. Those people who were supporting him were just doing it for clicks and views, and now when he needs real support, they are nowhere to be found, and we've gotta laugh about it. If you're new to this channel and haven't already, please hit that subscribe with the worst content creator in 2026, probably in the history of content creation. Now, back to the video. The last time that we had stopped in on Chud the Builder, he did not have any good news. There were claims that there were 12 security camera footages capturing the moment outside of the courthouse. There were claims that he shot 7 times recklessly in a courtyard in a public area where men, women, and children were walking through to go to court. There were claims that he was the aggressor, and none of it is looking good for Chud the Builder in his case, and claimed that it was self-defense. But probably the worst news for Chud the Builder was that the gifts and go money that he had collected, the donations from his community and his supporters, although still not enough for the then lowered $1 million bond, could not be used to get out of jail early. It could be used for the bond. It just could not be used for the bond. Happy for us, sad for him. Now, we do have a better understanding as to why the judge made the decision to block that, and we do now understand why the donation game is extremely murky for Chud going forward.
He cannot use his GoFundMe money or pardon me, the Gifts and Go money because that money was not raised for that purpose. And if you use that money for that purpose, it's called fraud. Also, Gifts and Go's own policy saying that you cannot use this platform to raise money for people who are charged with this kind of crime. So you can't use that money. Again, it was not raised for that purpose, and the policies of Gifts and Go say you can't do it.
And that to me makes sense. You can't raise money for your kid's cancer fund or research as to why you have this big hairy mole on your back and then turn around and use it to build an addition onto your house. That's scamming an audience. And if you go to his Gifts and Go, you can clearly see that the reason why he started the original Gifts and Go had nothing to do with the situation that he's going through currently. He's always been a grifter. He's always been a solicitor. He's always been shaking that cup for those racist dollars.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I thought the courts were blocking the funds. I didn't know that it was the website themselves. Like, nah, you can't use the funds for that particular purpose. I mean, that makes sense.
And so he's had this set up, and it's not going to work. Now, just as of yesterday, on May 26th, his team has put an addendum about the situation on the Gifts and Go, saying that all the funds are now directed to his legal defense. But, buddy, you've already raised a ton of money. I doubt that there's going to be any more money coming forward. Wait, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm finding this out in real time that even Chud's closest support system is total bullshit. It's totally fake. They're actually trying to get over on him. It's disgusting to watch in real time. But now there's been this new operation that has popped up from his spokesperson, person that's been acting as his spokesperson for the past couple of weeks while this situation has been going down. This week says, quick announcement, Gifts and Go was able to get funds into the lawyer's name and will help greatly fund their legal expenses. This Gifts and Go was created to help Dalton and his family with personal monthly bills and expenses controlled by the family. Gifts and Go says, Dalton, eitherly known as Chud the Builder, is a dedicated First Amendment auditor and contractor who was ambushed and violently attacked at the Montgomery County Courthouse in Clarksville, Tennessee. Them trying to frame Chud the Builder as some sort of civil rights activist is fucking hilarious. He's a live streamer who wanted to get famous by being a dickhead, right? By being a provocateur. Not somebody who we should be taking seriously as a looker after of our First Amendment rights. And First Amendment auditor? Are you serious? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. That's not what he did. Let's go on. It says, this hardworking and honest man is currently locked up, awaiting trial, and facing the possibility of decades in prison while he fights these charges. This fundraiser is solely for his family's living expenses, rent, utilities, groceries, vehicle expenses, and basic needs. So his family can keep a roof over their heads and food on the table during this extremely difficult time. They're going to pander to the lowest common denominator here, which is that free speech shit. The people that really believe this free speech self-defense. Dalton has spent years peacefully documenting government overreach and exercising his First Amendment rights. Now his family needs to survive while he fights to clear his name and come home. Chud, they are playing on your top game. As is being exposed here by the paranormal Chris, he goes on to say, neither of these fundraisers for Dalton Etherly, aka Chud the Builder, were created for legal expenses. For the crimes he committed when he shot Joshua Fox outside the Clarksville courthouse. Both says to help Chud and his family, while one says legal fees to help fight slander. It says nothing about legal fees for all the crimes he actually actually committed. Also, Dalton doesn't have a family. The mother of his child left him and has custody of his son, and according to Dalton himself, is trying to change his son's last name. I don't know if y'all remember seeing that clip when he got out of the lockup the first time. He came out and said, yeah, man, my ex is trying to change my son's name. He doesn't want to be associated with this. She doesn't want him associated with all these different things like this.
My son's mother texted me today saying that she wants to change his name. She fears for him. She's like, oh, you tarnished your name, and I don't want him to have to deal with that.
So what this is clearly indicating to me is that, you know, people are trying to get over him. This isn't to the fiance that he supposedly had. This isn't to a family that rocks with him. This is a bogus setup gift and go that is using Chud the Builder's name to collect a quick cash out. And I don't blame him, because me and other commentators are grittying on his head too. Go ahead and gritty to those dumbass people that believe that he is Christian, he has these ideologies, and that he is trying to get some sort of money. This is what I mean by the support system doesn't really fuck with Chud the Builder like he thought it would. He thought he had these support systems left, right, and sideways, but it's not going the way that he thinks it's gonna go. But I digress. After the bond hearing just last week, a benefactor, an anonymous one, Gypsy Crusader in his company, stepped to the forefront and said, hey, I'll foot the bill for Chud the Builder. For those of you who don't know who Gypsy Crusader is, he is an online provocateur and racist, just like Chud the Builder, who has been featured on Aiden Ross and other people's streams, trying to get them to say the craziest things, you know, enrage people, all that stuff. He's actually Chud the Builder squared. He's Chud the Builder times 10. Gypsy Crusader took to the internet to say, my sponsor, Duel, is actively trying to bail Chud out. They have the $1 million ready to go. They are just waiting for payment instructions through lawyers. I can't put into words how grateful I will be if they can make this happen. I'm very proud to work with them. Now, I can't actively explain how bad of a platform this benefactor is, this sponsor.
It don't take long to get bailed out. Once I hit my mama up, okay, when I was in jail, I got bailed out the next morning, okay? So it don't take that damn long. If you're ready to pay, you got the funds, you can get bailed out.
But let's just say that they are Chud the Builder times 10 in a dice rolling event. There's one clip I saw this weekend of a card dealer on the platform dressing in the costume that a mass pew-pewer did have on as they perform said mass pew-pewing. It's a really, really disgusting platform. It's right up Chud the Builder's alley, and I know for a fact that if they did bail out Chud the Builder, that they would put him to work on the platform because they know that they get the money back. But that's the catch. That's where they're going wrong. You can't actually use bond money and bail money to get somebody out of jail and then think that you can put them to work in order to recoup it. That's illegal, right? So they still won't be able to do that. And so now Chud's legal team is crazy desperate. And by crazy desperate, I mean crazy desperate. They are looking left, right, and sideways in order to get some sort of support, funding, and backing in order to get him up out of that box. They want him up out of that box the fast way, right? And so they're turning to anybody and everybody who will listen. The problem is that nobody is. All of the traditional folks that you think would be backing him and supporting him that are white are definitely not doing anything in their favor. Now, Aiden Ross and Nick Fuentes have actively been on stream saying, fuck Chud the Builder, we don't rock with him. That's not somebody that I want to support.
Aiden, bail out Chud the Builder and I'm quite
Fuck no, I'm not bailing him out. Absolutely not.
He screwed up royally, and now he is done. First of all, they threw the book at this guy. He's got a record, so there's going to be no leniency. And then he's got all these tweets. He's got a mountain of tweets saying, I'm inevitably going to push somebody. I'm inevitably going to kill one of you. How's that going to play in front of the judge? Not so funny now, huh? And
this only leaves Chud the Builder and his team to do the unthinkable. They now have to tap dance and perform for the black coins in the community in order to get their dollar. It's crazy. In an open letter, Chud the Builder's representation decided to reach out to black people, go figure, in order to raise money for Chud the Builder's defense team. Now, I want y'all to know that this is probably the lengthiest begging that I've ever seen. This excerpt here, though, is very interesting. Before the pew-pewing, Eartherly was a live streamer. He lost his livelihood after being targeted online and had his professional connections severed. BLM followed him for a year, making sure he couldn't work over a single event. Live streaming became his only way to pay his bills. His content was confrontational and he used language that most people would call offensive. He did not walk on eggshells around anyone. This is the most I hate accountability way to tell this story. Chud the Builder lost any connections, was fired from his job, all these things for being racist on the internet. It's as simple as that. The letter goes on to say, here is the part that matters. Over time, something happened that your work predicts. Black people started engaging with him, not because he softened his language or performed deference, because he did it. He treated people as people, roughly but directly, without managing them as a demographic. Some black viewers and people he encountered began to respect him precisely because he refused to perform the script. The moments of genuine connection in his content, the handshakes, the real conversations, the mutual laughter.
Unless they self-hating.
The most human moments in any of it, and some of the most powerful I've seen before. Now, there's two things that stick out to me. One, this is clearly the most AI written thing that I've ever seen in the world. It's so nasty that he would use AI as an attempt to, try to free this man or whatever the case may be. But two, Chud the Builder's team is turning to a community that Chud the Builder was openly antagonizing for support. Now, for what it's worth, I believe that you would at least get a few of these coins on your side. Already he has Myron Gaines on his side, who we know that through past videos, Myron Gaines has struggled with identity issues. I don't even know if I would call him a coin based off of the fact that he doesn't even think that he's black. It's actually pretty disgusting. But I know that there are some others out there who follow the same type of rhetoric, the free speech stuff, all these other things. But what really shocked me is the fact that even these coins aren't taking the bait. They don't want anything to do with Chud the Builder.
It's defenders. This is just the word. It's just the word.
Oh, wait. This is what I was waiting for. Let's hear what they got to say. I'm very interested in this.
Even these coins aren't taking the bait. They don't want anything to do with Chud the Builder.
It's defenders. It says just a word. It's just a word. It's not just a word. Well, it's just a word, but it's got a lot of history. But it's an offensive word, right? Let's say I go. It's easily the most horrible word in any language. But let's say I go to some outdoor concert and it's a country music concert. It's a number of white people, and I take my black ass in there and I start saying offensive things to white men's white wives. And then the husband gets mad. He said something, and then she said something. I said, you know what, you're fat. I don't want you anyway. Yeah. And let's say they throw a punch at me, and then I back up, pull up my gun, and shoot. Yeah. You think I'm justified in that? Mm-hmm. It's just words. It's my freedom of speech. Do you think I'm justified when I provoke and instigated the entire encounter? It's a slippery slope for our society, too. What's going to stop a black man from going out there flipping the script? Hey, your wife looks like an in-lover.
In a shocking, and I do mean shocking turn of events, which you would think would be some of his biggest supporter, the Hodge twins, who, for the most of us that grew up watching them through, their workout series or commentary on relationships, have fallen out of favor with them because they have gone the full MAGA coin route, have decided they are going to take a stance. They are not on the side of Chud the Builder at all. The same black people that Chud thought would defend him are now taking a turn and kicking his back kick. It's not just the Hodge twins of it all. It's actually worse than that. You have people like Officer Tatum, who is also a known black coin, who is also saying, yo, this guy is stupid.
Oh, is that the word we're using now? Smart, because we can't say the other C word. Alright, you two don't like that word. I know, because I was using it in the video and they flagged my video. I was like, well, damn. So we're using that word instead.
Weird. It was avoidable. He should be locked up. I don't understand any of it.
I cannot stand people that spend their time, effort, and energy to go around and live stream confronting people and being disrespectful nut jobs and antagonizing people to get confrontation. And when they get the confrontation, they want to pull a gun and shoot people and do all this old crazy stuff. You cannot go out and instigate a conflict, and then when you start losing a conflict, you want to try to pull a gun. This is self-defense 101. Self-defense is when somebody's attacking you and you feel like your life is in serious threat of bodily injury or death, then you can use deadly force. But there's a force continuum. You can only use equal amount of force as somebody's, presenting to you. Now, in self-defense, if you did not create this situation and you defend yourself, you're good. But if you went out and created a situation, you cannot then claim self-defense once a person retaliates against you. This fool, he looks stupid. But what he's doing is a person that is broken and damaged and that needs attention, they go out and they create environments where they get assaulted so they can be a martyr and they can raise money or they can go viral. Listen, young people, all of that is going to lead you to where he ended up.
Now, as a real content nigga, I know exactly what's going on. The ethos and the zeitgeist is not on Chud the Builder's side. Full stop. And any sort of support would be called out as being fake, disingenuous, and disgusting. And these guys know this. The reason why I'm saying this is because I don't for one second believe that these people have had some sort of real change of heart or they have some sort of new thought or feeling about this. No, not too long ago, the Hodge twins were talking about how a word is just a word. They were actually minimizing the use of the N-word on their platform.
For the most part, in America, we got equal rights. But there's actually a group of people that claim to be oppressed in this country, and they set limits to what white people can say. Like, white people can't use the N-word. That don't seem fair to me. Especially when you came up with the word. Yeah, you invented the word. Give them some respect. Give them the respect they deserve. They came up with the word. But y'all know how sensitive black folks are. Man, these people are crybabies.
These people, these are other delusional people who don't consider themselves black. Listen, I knew it. Well, I already reacted to a video a while ago about, I think it was titled like proof that Hodge twins be grifting or something like that. I forgot the name. Anyway, but I reacted to a video that basically showed different clips proving that they pander to their audience. They are grifters. They simply say what they think their racist audience wants to hear. So yeah, when he played the initial clip, I'm like, oh, this is surprising because I would expect them to be on the opposite side, and lo and behold, look at the clip of them previously being on the other side. But I guess because they see all of the backlash that Chud is getting, now they are grifting to that side. Because even though Chud has some supporters, let's be real, there are way more people who are against Chud. Like, people love to focus on the minority and those, a few people who have, donated money and speak out in support of them. But a lot of people are against Chud. Most people are. So they are just, following the wave. which is really sad. They don't have a backbone. They are such cowards. It's really sad.
Because the times are changing and because people can clearly see through in this situation the nastiness and disgustingness of Chud the Builder, they've decided they were going to flip the entirety of the script. They are now on the platform in the Chud the Builder situation saying that this use of language is unnecessary. It's disgusting. And they don't understand why he would do this because it's just proving he's an antagonizer.
Like, whenever you have self-defense, you got to look at proportionality and who instigated the confrontation. It sounds like in Chud's statement on the audio said he tried to walk away. That's what he's saying. But there's a lot of witnesses, and if he did not walk away and he instigated the conversation, he starts saying, ooh, and so, hey, look, he's chipping out. And he calls him N-word. That weakens his self-defense claim.
But the reason why this matters, though, is because I know that Chud the Builder thought that he would have a collective of people on his side no matter what. He thought that he would have all these self-proclaimed free speech advocates on his side championing him for the way that he would go about doing these things. He thought that he would have all of the donations in the world, all the financial backing in the world. He thought that he would have people ride for him. But as it turns out, he doesn't have the support that he thinks he has. He actually has some of the worst support system in the world, which would forever link him to this nasty, downright disrespectful hate behavior. And the people that he thought would have his back have subsequently turned their back on him, shunned him, and said that, hey, this guy is a weirdo, this guy is stupid, his actions are wild, we don't condone any of this. Now, it's clear these people are grifting. I'm not giving a dog a bone for wagging its tail here, but I think it's funny that you think that, hey, these guys are free speech advocates. They're clearly going to be supporting me in any decision making that I do. So let me go ahead and just lean to them and see what they have to say. And they're turning their back on you in real time. I figured you would have white people that are conservatives looking at the Chud the Builder situation and potentially turning their back on him. They don't want to align with this nonsense. It's too much on the nose. That's why when Megyn Kelly came out and she said what she said, it didn't really shock me, right? She said that he was dumb and stupid and stuff like that. Megyn Kelly is a Fox commentator, or I think ex-Fox commentator, who disavowed Chud the Builder.
That guy is an obvious racist. I'm not surprised he shot a black man. It was just a matter of time from the look of it. It's disgusting. It's hate speech. I don't think the speech was necessarily illegal, right? Like hate speech is legal, but that doesn't make it okay or right. And he was definitely threatening and menacing in a way that, could arguably have crossed it over, to incitement.
But I promise you, I was shocked that I saw these black coins take this stance, but it just goes to show how messed up Chud the Builder really is in this situation. Those people that you thought you were grifting with, that you thought you could align with, turn their back on you in real time. And I'm telling you, as I'm starting to see more and more clips of Chud the Builder come out and talk about how he's been feeling about black people, how he's been thinking about potentially ending black lives and whatnot, it's only going to end up worse for him.
Chud the Builder, known for starting and harassing people.
We already reacted to that on the channel. Check out that previous video if you missed it. I don't want to hear that again. He's disgusting, gross, vile. But yeah, very interesting. I did want to hear what the Hodge twins had to say because I would expect for them to be on Chud's side. And they probably secretly are. Or maybe they're not. All of their, content online is just a huge grift. So they are going to follow the money, okay? They're going to go where the money resides. they don't care. Whatever people are saying, their audience, okay? Whatever they are in support of, the Hodge twins is going to be in support of just to make money. So, I feel like Myron is the same way as well. I think a lot of his audience is in support of Chud, so that's probably why he's leaning more towards that side. But if it was the opposite, then he would be doing the same. He would be going against Chud. But these people are grifters and they don't have a backbone, so it's really sad to see. But anyway, Chud, burn in hell. We will see what happens with the case. We will keep updated on everything. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think though, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.